So my name is Aurélien Lecartier. I work at Sigfox in the adoption team, where I am in charge of developer relations. And today we're going to go through how to use the Sigfox SDR Dongle. And so I'm going to have a couple of slides to show you, and at the end we'll do a demonstration of the different softwares that you can use with the SDR. Okay, so regarding the SDR dongle, to give you a quick overview, so basically it's a tool that we have developed at Sigfox that is composed of a hardware solution and a software solution as well. So it is actually a USB stick with an RF connector on top of it, and that you can connect directly to your device. So with the hardware, you've got a couple of cables that are provided. So you've got SMA connector and UFL connectors that you can use to connect directly to your device. And we've got a software suite as well. So we've got the Sigfox Network Emulator and the radio signal analyzer that we're going to go through into details afterwards. But basically, the SDR dongle is used to emulate the Sigfox network. So it is not directly connected to the Sigfox backend. It basically emulates a Sigfox base station, so to retrieve the radio signal of devices, and it also emulates features of the Sigfox cloud. So you can configure callbacks as well to send your data to your application servers. And by doing that, you can do some full end-to-end IoT testing using the SDR dongle. The other application for the SDR dongle is linked to the radio signal analyzer, where you can use it basically to do some pre-testing for the Sigfox Verified certification. So we have one slide regarding Sigfox certification for the one of you who don't know the different certifications that we have, and we will present that briefly. But to start with, let's go through the Sigfox Network Emulator. So the Sigfox Network Emulator, it's a Windows and Linux application that you can download on the Sigfox build web. As we said, emulate both the radio network and cloud callback features. So basically, to download it, you can just go on the Sigfox build website, so which is build.sigfox.com, and from here you can look for the SDR web page. And on the web page, so you will get information about the SDR dongle, and here the first section of the web page is about the Sigfox Network Emulator, and you can download the different software directly here for your Windows or Linux operating system. And you've got also a couple of user guide and resources that you can access. So the Sigfox Network Emulator is good for different use cases. The first one that is interesting for the SDR dongle is when you want to test your solution where you don't have any coverage. So at the moment, Sigfox is present in 45 countries, and we are rolling out the network in 45 countries, and the goal is to get into 60 countries by the end of the year. But if you don't have any coverage in your area, but you want to develop a Sigfox IoT solution, the SNE is a perfect tool for that to start testing your application. The other use case is, as you may know, with Sigfox, we have different frequency bands. So we've got a radio configuration 1 in Europe, which is using 868 megahertz. But if you go, for instance, to the United States or Mexico, it's a different frequency, which is 902 megahertz. If you go to Latin America or to Asia, it's going to be 920 megahertz. So you've got different radio configurations. And so using the SDR dongle, what is interesting is that you can choose from the different radio configuration and test your IoT solution for different regions. Because as you may know, because of regulations, you cannot, for instance, transmit over the air. For instance, if you are based in Europe and you want to develop a solution for the US market, you won't be able to transmit at 902 megahertz because it's not allowed by local regulation. So using the SDR dongle and connecting to your device, as you are using cables, you are in conducting mode, and by doing that, actually, you can directly test different radio configuration. Also, last interesting thing regarding SDR dongle is when you want to do like full end-to-end testing. So from your device to your application, and you don't want to transmit directly on the Sigfox backend because you don't want to use your subscription. By using the SDR dongle, you can just do it locally and do a full end-to-end testing between the device that you are developing and your application server. Okay, so just to talk briefly regarding Sigfox certification. So we've got two types of certification, which are Sigfox Verified and Sigfox Ready. And basically, when you want to do a Sigfox solution, as we say in the bottom of the slide, to get a certified product, you need to get both the Sigfox Verified and Sigfox Ready. But in most cases, so for instance, when you are using a Sigfox module, all Sigfox modules are already Sigfox Verified. So in this case, you just need to go through the Sigfox Ready, which is basically a radiation testing to check the transmit power of your device. The Sigfox Verified certification is usually dedicated for semiconductors companies that are making modules, or it can also be used for companies that are like targeting very big volumes. When you are targeting very big volumes, using like transceivers, you can get lower prices regarding your end device. So in this case, you will need to go through the Sigfox Verified and integrate the Sigfox stack and the Sigfox modulation into your product. So that's what is the Sigfox Verified. As we said, Sigfox Ready is focused on radiation testing. One last case that can be interesting for the Sigfox Verified is, for instance, if you have an existing design of a device and you want to add Sigfox connectivity. So for instance, if you have a device for LoRa connectivity, you can go through the Sigfox Verified to make it compatible with Sigfox. Okay, so the second software that we have available with the SDR dongle is a radio signal analyzer. This one is especially useful for the Sigfox Verified. So if you go through the Sigfox Ready, if you are using a module that is already Sigfox certified, you don't basically this software will not be the most useful for you. It is really useful when you are going through the Sigfox Verified certification and you want to do some pre-testing before going to the certification. So the way it works is that we provide a Debian image that you need to copy on a USB stick, and then when you launch the Debian image, you've got a software that you can run, and that will allow you to test the radio compliance for the Sigfox Verified. So basically, like the main feature of this software is especially useful when you want to check the device modulation and demodulation testing. So when you are transmitting, the SDR dongle will demodulate your signal, and so we will check the modulation quality of the device. And same thing in downlink. So the SDR dongle will send a signal to your device, and then you will be able to check that the demodulation on your device is working correctly. It's also useful to look at data rate and phase accuracy, also for spectrum occupancy. So spectrum occupancy is like something very important when you go through certification, and especially afterwards when you go to the CE and FCC certification. It's very important to get a very sharp spectrum. So that's the feature that you can test with the radio signal analyzer. So as for the SNE, you can get the radio signal analyzer directly on the build website. So if you look on the menu on the left, you can go to Sigfox RSA. And here, RSA getting started. From here, you can download the Debian image.